faster than we went before, obviously. And the first thing I want to do is place component, and in this case it's going to be basic, and I'm going to go down and select resistor, and I'm going to click OK. Did that before. If you need help, we'll come round and we'll help you, obviously. Now this time I'm not going to put a resistor down, I'm going to put a capacitor down. And 1 microfarad looks perfectly reasonable. I'm going to place that component down, close that, and I want to rotate that 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm getting somewhere now, if you remember before. And the next thing I want to do is I want to put a ground in. Remember, if you don't have a ground, it won't simulate properly. It doesn't necessarily matter as far as producing a PCB is concerned, but we might want to simulate it as well. So we want to place components, and on this particular one, we want to have a look at sources. And in here somewhere we should have ground. Where's the ground gone? Ground, there we are. So we'll put the ground down. Bingo. Close that. We could connect it up now. I like to do that at the end personally. Now remember before we put the signal generator in there, didn't we? But the trouble is signal generators come in lots of different shapes or forms. I mean, you've got boxes that look this side kind of size, boxes that look this kind of size. We're making a printed circuit board, so we actually want some connectors on there, right? We want our printed circuit board to have some input connectors and some output connectors. Yeah? Okay. So we're going to look for a new component that we haven't seen so far, and we're going to go to components, and down here there's one called connectors. So I'm in sources. You haven't seen this one before, so I'll dwell on it a little bit. You're in sources, you're going to click on connectors, which is quite close to the bottom, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. Scroll to the bottom, which is rather fortunate, and you can see one there that says test PT for point THT, which is short for through hole. Don't know where the other T came through, but don't worry about it. The one above that is test point surface mount. Okay, we want the through hole version. So test point through hole, and we're going to OK that. And we're going to place that, say, here. I'm going to place another one. Say here. I'm going to place another one. Say here. And I'm going to place another one. OK that. Is there anyone who's, just want to get rid of that one. Is there anyone that's got any drastic woes at the moment and I'm doing something that they don't understand? Hopefully not. I'm just going to tidy up my drawing, so that's all I'm doing here, nothing fantastic. You can do this, you know how to do this. Just tidying up a bit to make it look more like what the circuit should do. Just rotate that 90 degrees clockwise. Right. So we're getting there. We're not actually there yet, but we're getting there. I like to use the arrow keys to do this because I find it more accurate. And I'm just going to line those up. Not that this has any bearing on the PCB, because you've got to do this separately later anyway. Okay, that looks good to go. I think let's just move that resistor up a bit. Across a bit. There, that'll do. Okay, so now let's connect him up. So usual way, connect on the pin, connect on the other pin. Oh, we are, here we go. Now what will happen on the designer will check is it will say that J2 and J4 are the same point. Well, they are, but that doesn't matter to us at this point in time. I'm just readjusting the way I'm drawing it there, so nothing to worry about as such. So we can go there. So we've got a completed drawing. All of those are, if you like, real components. So that test point, you'll notice it's a different colour. It's green. What that's telling us is that test point already has a footprint. Okay, so it's already got a pair of shoes. But the resistors are black. So that means the resistors and the capacitor on there hasn't got any shoes or doesn't have a footprint allocated to it yet. Okay, just going to pause for a couple of minutes just to make sure that everyone is up to speed on that. So maybe 3, maybe 4 minutes, something like that, just to make sure that you're okay. And then you've got a colleague that's first time this week, if you could just give them a little helping hand, that would be really useful. Yeah, just turn the camera off for a second. Yep, I'll be with you in a minute, sir.